In first-degree or perfect price discrimination, the monopolist charges each buyer exactly his or her willingness to pay. WTP. Imagine a car dealer who knows how much each customer values a specific model and quotes a price that extracts the entire surplus. The firm solves the problem. Max Q profit equals integral from 0 to Q of P of Q dQ minus MC times Q, where P of Q is the inverse demand curve. The first order condition gives marginal revenue, MR of Q equals MC. Because the firm captures the whole area under the demand curve, consumer surplus is 0, and total surplus equals the monopoly's profit. Welfare effects. Compared with a uniform monopoly price, total output is larger. The monopoly would restrict Q until MR equals MC, but with perfect discrimination it produces where demand equals MC, so deadweight loss disappears. However, the distribution of surplus shifts entirely to the producer, raising equity concerns. P equals a minus BQ. MR equals a minus 2BQ. Q star equals open parenthesis a minus MC close parenthesis, divided by open parenthesis 2B close parenthesis. P of Q equals a minus BQ. Second-degree discrimination does not require identifying each consumer's type, only that consumers self-select among a menu of contracts. Typical examples are quantity discount schedules, buy 1 for $10, buy 5 for $40, and two-part tariffs, a fixed fee plus a per-unit price like a gym membership. The firm offers a nonlinear price schedule P of Q that is convex, inducing high-valuation customers to buy larger quantities while low-valuation customers buy less. For a two-part tariff, profit pi equals F plus open parenthesis P minus MC close parenthesis times Q, where F is the fixed fee and P the per-unit price. The profit-maximizing rule chooses P equals MC to avoid deadweight loss, and sets F equal to the consumer's surplus at that P. Example, demand Q equals a minus BP, solve for P star equals MC, then consumer surplus CS equals 1/2 times Q times open parenthesis maximum willingness to pay minus P star close parenthesis. The firm captures CS as the fixed fee. Analytically, the optimal schedule satisfies the no distortion at the margin condition. dP over dQ equals 0 for the marginal unit, while earlier units are priced above MC to extract surplus. Third-degree discrimination separates the market into distinct observable groups open parenthesis, for example student senior regular close parenthesis. The firm sets a different price P sub I for each segment I solving maximize over P sub I pi sub I equals open parenthesis P sub I minus MC close parenthesis times Q sub I, where Q sub I equals a sub I minus B sub I P sub I linear demand in segment I. The key rule links price to elasticity open parenthesis epsilon 1 over epsilon 2 close parenthesis equals open parenthesis P1 minus MC close parenthesis over open parenthesis P2 minus MC close parenthesis. Here epsilon sub I equals open parenthesis P sub I over Q sub I close parenthesis times open parenthesis dQ sub I over dP sub I close parenthesis is the price elasticity negative. Intuitively, a more elastic segment receives a lower markup. Example segment, a open parenthesis students close parenthesis demand Q sub, a equals 100 minus 2p comma elasticity epsilon sub, a equals negative 2p over open parenthesis, 100 minus 2p close parenthesis. Segment B, open parenthesis professionals close parenthesis demand Q sub B equals 80 minus p comma epsilon sub B equals negative p over open parenthesis 80 minus p close parenthesis. With MC equals 10 solving the elasticity-based rule yields optimal P sub A and P sub B. Profit in each segment is pi sub I equals open parenthesis P sub I minus 10 close parenthesis times open parenthesis a sub I minus B sub I P sub I close parenthesis. Summing gives total profit. The approach shows how differential pricing open parenthesis movie tickets, airline, seats close parenthesis raises profit by matching markups to each group sensitivity. For any price discrimination scheme to be feasible, 3 conditions must hold. Market power, the seller must face a downward sloping demand, otherwise it cannot set different prices. Formally, MR sub I less than P sub I for each segment. Identification. The seller must be able to observe or infer the consumer's type, segment, quantity, or willingness to pay. Mathematically, there exists a partition of the consumer set C equals union C sub I such that for each I the seller can condition price on I without error. No arbitrage. Consumers in a lower price group must not be able to resell or copy the product to a higher price group. The constraint can be written as P sub I less than or equal to P sub j plus transaction cost sub I arrow j for all I not equal to j. If the transaction cost is 0, arbitrage would collapse the price gap. Real-world analogies. Student discounts, student ID verifies type. Quantity discounts, larger orders cost more per unit but lower average price, making resale unattractive. And geographic price differences, shipping costs act as arbitrage barriers. Bundling sells 2 or more products together. Pure bundling offers only the bundle, no separate sales, while mixed bundling offers both the bundle and individual items. The firm's problem is to choose bundle price P sub B to maximize pi equals open parenthesis P sub B minus MC sub B close parenthesis times Q sub B, where MC sub B equals the sum of MC sub K, the sum of marginal costs, and Q sub B is the joint demand for the bundle. Joint demand can be derived from consumer valuations. A consumer buys the bundle if the sum of V sub K is greater than or equal to P sub B. Example with two products, A and B, independent linear demands. Q sub A equals 120 minus 2 pi sub A, Q sub B equals 100 minus P sub B, MC sub A equals 20, MC sub B equals 10. Suppose valuations are correlated so that high valuation customers value both highly. The optimal pure bundle price can be found by solving max sub P sub B of open parenthesis P sub B minus 30 close parenthesis times Q bundle, where Q bundle equals 80 minus 0.5 P sub B, derived from joint distribution. Solving gives P sub B star equals 70, Q bundle star equals 45, profit equals open parenthesis 70 minus 30 close parenthesis times 45 equals 1,800. In mixed bundling, the firm also sets individual prices. For example, P sub A equals 40, P sub B equals 30, and compares profits from separate sales versus bundle sales, choosing the higher. Numerical illustration shows mixed bundling can capture both high valuation, who buy the bundle, and low valuation, who buy only one product, segments, increasing total profit. Screening addresses situations where the seller does not know each buyer's demand type before contract signing. The seller offers a menu of contracts, open brace P sub I, Q sub I close brace, designed so that each type chooses the contract intended for it. A self-selection, incentive-compatible mechanism. The constraints are: 1. Individual rationality IR. U sub I of Q sub I and P sub I is greater than or equal to 0 for each type I, where U sub I equals the integral from 0 to Q sub I of P sub I of T dt minus P sub I. 2. Incentive compatibility IC. U sub I of Q sub I and P sub I is greater than or equal to U sub I of Q sub j and P sub j for all j not equal to I. Mathematically, for two types high, H, and low, L, the incentive compatibility conditions are: V sub H of Q sub H minus P sub H is greater than or equal to V sub H of Q sub L minus P sub L. And V sub L of Q sub L minus P sub L is greater than or equal to V sub L of Q sub H minus P sub H. Using the envelope theorem, the optimal solution often satisfies a binding incentive compatibility for the adjacent types and the individual rationality for the lowest type. Example, demand for type theta is Q equals a minus B times open parenthesis P minus theta close parenthesis. The seller chooses a two-part tariff F and P for each type. Solving the incentive compatibility and individual rationality yields P equals MC, no distortion at the margin, and F equals the surplus of the low type, while the high type receives a small distortion, a higher price to prevent mimicking. This framework underlies airline fare classes, insurance contracts, and credit card pricing. Welfare comparison looks at how consumer surplus, CS, producer surplus, PS, and deadweight loss, DWL, change under different pricing regimes. Under uniform pricing, the monopoly sets PU where MR equals MC, producing QU. CSU equals integral from PU to P max of Q of PdP minus PU QU. PSU equals open parenthesis PU minus MC close parenthesis times QU. And DWL equals integral from QU to Q opt of open bracket P of Q minus MC close bracket DQ. With perfect discrimination, output expands to Q pay D where P of Q equals MC, eliminating DWL, DWL sub PD equals 0. CS sub PD equals 0. PS sub PD equals integral from 0 to Q pay D of open parenthesis P of Q minus MC close parenthesis DQ equals total surplus. Second-degree discrimination often yields an intermediate outcome. The quantity discount schedule leads to some distortion, so DWL is reduced but not eliminated. CS is partially captured as fixed fees. Graphically, the consumer's demand curve and MC line intersect at Q opt. Uniform pricing cuts off a triangle, DWL, perfect discrimination fills the area under demand down to MC, and bundling can shift the effective demand curve, sometimes increasing total surplus if bundle price is set close to combined willingness to pay. Algebraic example, linear demand P equals 100 minus Q, MC equals 20. Uniform price, marginal revenue equals 100 minus 2Q equals 20 leads to QU equals 40. PU equals 60, DWL equals 1/2 times open parenthesis 60 minus 20 close parenthesis times open parenthesis 60 minus 40 close parenthesis equals 400. Perfect discrimination. QPD equals 80 where P equals MC. Producer surplus equals integral from 0 to 80 of open parenthesis 100 minus Q minus 20 close parenthesis DQ equals 3,200, DWL equals 0. These numbers illustrate the trade-off between efficiency, lower DWL, and equity CS distribution. Suppose 3 market segments have linear demand. Segment 1, Q1 equals 120 minus 2 P1. Segment 2, Q2 equals 100 minus P2. Segment 3, Q3 equals 80 minus 0.5 P3. Constant marginal cost MC equals 30. For each segment solve MR sub I equals MC. MR for a linear demand pay equals a minus BQ is MR equals a minus 2 BQ. Invert each demand to get P sub I of Q sub I. P1 equals 60 minus 0.5 Q1, MR1 equals 60 minus Q1. Set 60 minus Q1 equals 30, which gives Q1 star equals 30. P1 star equals 60 minus 0.5 times 30 equals 45. Segment 2, P2 equals 100 minus Q2. MR2 equals 100 minus 2Q2. 100 minus 2Q2 equals 30, giving Q2 star equals 35. P2 star equals 100 minus 35 equals 65. Segment 3, P3 equals 160 minus 2Q3. Since Q3 equals 80 minus 0.5 P3 implies P3 equals 160 minus 2Q3. MR3 equals 160 minus 4Q3. 160 minus 4Q3 equals 30, giving Q3 star equals 32.5. P3 star equals 160 minus 2 times 32.5 equals 95. Profit from each segment. Pi sub I equals open parenthesis P sub I star minus MC close parenthesis times Q sub I star. Pi 1 equals open parenthesis 45 minus 30 close parenthesis times 30 equals 450. Pi 2 equals open parenthesis 65 minus 30 close parenthesis times 35 equals 1,225. Pi 3 equals open parenthesis 95 minus 30 close parenthesis times 32.5 equals 2,112.5. Total profit equals 3,787.5. These calculations illustrate the elasticity-based price setting rule for third-degree discrimination. Consider 2 products, X and Y, with independent linear demands. Quantity of X equals 200 minus 3P sub X. Marginal cost of X equals 20. Quantity of Y equals 150 minus 2P sub Y. Marginal cost of Y equals 15. First, find the optimal separate prices, uniform monopoly for each product. Inverse demand for X. P sub X equals open parenthesis 200 minus Q sub X close parenthesis divided by 3. Marginal revenue for X. MR sub X equals 200 divided by 3 minus open parenthesis 2 over 3 close parenthesis times Q sub X. Set marginal revenue of x equal to marginal cost of x 200 divided by 3 minus open parenthesis 2 over 3 close parenthesis q sub x equals 20. Solving gives optimal quantity of x equals 70. Optimal price of x equals open parenthesis 200 minus 70 close parenthesis divided by 3, which is 43.33. For product y, price of y equals open parenthesis 150 minus q sub y close parenthesis divided by 2. Marginal revenue of y equals 150 divided by 2 minus open parenthesis 1 over 2 close parenthesis q sub y, which simplifies to 75 minus 0.5 q sub y. Set marginal revenue of y equal to marginal cost of y 75 minus 0.5 q sub y equals 15. Solving gives optimal quantity of y equals 120. Optimal price of y equals open parenthesis 150 minus 120 close parenthesis divided by 2, which is 15. Separate profit equals open parenthesis 43.33 minus 20 close parenthesis times 70 plus open parenthesis 15 minus 15 close parenthesis times 120, which equals 1633.1. Next, compute the optimal pure bundle price. Bundle marginal cost equals 20 plus 15, which is 35. Assume the joint willingness to pay is the sum of individual valuations. So a consumer buys the bundle if price of X plus price of Y is greater than or equal to bundle price. Aggregate demand for the bundle can be approximated by adding the individual demands. Quantity of bundle as a function of bundle price equals 200 minus 3 times open parenthesis bundle price divided by 2 close parenthesis minus open parenthesis, 150 minus 2 times open parenthesis bundle price divided by 2 close parenthesis close parenthesis. Simplifying gives 200 minus 1.5 p sub b minus 150 plus p sub b equals 50 minus 0.5 p sub b. This simplification treats the bundle price as split equally between the two goods. Set marginal revenue of bundle equal to marginal cost of bundle. Inverse bundle demand. Bundle price equals 100 minus 2 q sub b, so marginal revenue of bundle equals 100 minus 4 q sub b. Set marginal revenue of bundle equal to 35. Solving gives optimal bundle quantity equals 16.25. Optimal bundle price equals 100 minus 2 times 16.25, which is 67.5. Bundle profit equals open parenthesis 67.5 minus 35 close parenthesis times 16.25, which equals 531.25. Comparing, separate pricing yields higher profit in this numerical example, showing that pure bundling is beneficial only when consumer valuations are strongly correlated. For example, high-type buyers